After all that, Kisara never came back to see us.
I'm surprised she slipped away without us noticing. Where would she even go? I hope this place survives. You think the Danins and Renins have a chance of getting along? We didn't really do much to change things around here, did we?
This realm had its own walls to overcome. And in the end, it was the people themselves who decided to break them down, without any help from us. I hope they keep going, I really do.
Yeah, well, if you say so, I guess. Huh?
All right. I leave command of the Gold Dust Cats in your hands.
You've got nothing to worry about, Kisara. I'll do your brother proud.
Looks like it's time to go. Take good care of Zare for me. All right, Lagiel?
You've got it. Stay safe, Kisara.
Did you come to say goodbye?
Actually, I was wondering if you could use another companion.
Huh?
Well, we certainly don't mind you coming along. We just figured you'd stay behind and help rebuild. These people could use you.
I thought much the same thing. However, in the end, something changed my mind. Ever since Miguel died, I've been thinking a lot. About where I went wrong, what I should have done differently. You know, that sort of thing. It's true that our dream of coexistence saved many Danin lives, but we were naive and short-sighted. I was so wrapped up in my idea of how things should be that I didn't see the problems that existed right in front of us. I thought we had been given a utopia. And so I never bothered to look too far past its surface. I chose to be ignorant. And because of that, because of me, my brother...
Miguel's death wasn't your fault, Kisara.
Perhaps you're right. But in the end, it was me he entrusted this dream to. I learned that nothing in this life is free, or gained without sacrifice. Now that I know that, I'll just have to figure out what else I don't know.
So, decided to join us?
I have. And hopefully I can continue to protect Elde Menancia from outside the dream world, for the sake of those still inside.
And here I thought you joined for an opportunity on my life.
In all honesty, I'm grateful to you. I truly am. I don't blame you for what happened. But I must also leave your service. No longer will I be defined by protecting a Renin lord. From now on, when I fight to protect my dream. All I ask is that you do your part, that you fight alongside me, not just for those who used to believe in your dream, but for those that still do. Dohalim.
I understand. I'm no longer a lord anyway.
Well, this crew just gets bigger and bigger. All right, where to, team?
We make for Mahag Sar, the Valley of the Four Winds.
I'm amazed how easily you can move such a giant shield around like it's nothing.
Really? It's not actually as heavy as it looks.
It's really reassuring to have someone like you protecting us, though.
You know, I guess I never realized it before, but looking back, I've always been the sort to put myself in harm's way to protect those around me, even before I joined the Elder Guard. So in a way, using this shield to keep you all safe feels like it's what I was meant to do.
You don't need to worry about protecting me. I don't plan on relying on you.
That's okay. It doesn't matter if you do or not. I don't protect people because they ask me to. I do it because I want to, and because I think it's the right thing to do. That goes for you too, Dohalim.
Me?
Yes. You see, you and I both want the same thing. We have the same goal. That means it's in my best interest to continue to protect and keep you safe as well. Even now.
I'm not sure how much protecting I'll need either, but I appreciate the thought. I'm sure you'll do us proud, Kisara.
Right. You can all count on me.
What was Kelzelik even after in the end?
Isn't it obvious? Clearly he wanted the throne for himself, and was gonna have his goons execute Dohalim to get it.
He had to have known he couldn't hope to defeat a lord. He should have run while he had the chance, instead of holding himself up in the palace.
Maybe he thought he couldn't run? Either way, the outcome's the same.
So he got desperate and decided to go for broke?
One might argue that he was another victim of mine, in a sense.
Huh?
There is no greater calling in life to a Renin than the crown contest, yet I refused to take part. The shock he felt at that must have been truly immense. Enough to drive him to revolt, even though doing so meant defying Renin hierarchy.
I know I've said this before, but Dahnans and Renins wouldn't coexist here if it wasn't for your stance.
But that was no lofty idealism on my part, nor do I feel any pride at what occurred.
Spare us the pity party. You literally just joined us to uphold those ideals.
Shionne?
No, she is absolutely correct. I shall speak no more of my misgivings.
Looks like we get to sleep with a roof over our heads.
I think there's someone in trouble here.
Well, let's see what they have to say.
Right.
Excuse me!
Well... Really?
Good.
What the?
Seriously?
All right.
Huh? I think someone's calling out for it.
You okay?
Yeah!
Okay.
Huh?
Here we go!
Stay sharp. We're going in.
You think we can take that Zoogle?
If you're gonna fight it,
An opponent like... This should be easy.
I'm on it!
you have to aim for the front area on their back. The flashing parts are weak. I'll heal you all.
Now you're talking! I'm on a roll now! There you go!
Here's a healing arc.
Now, while it's
Thank
healing!
you. Take it down.
Okay!
This one's mine.
Come away! Azure Storm!
It's time. I'm out of air. I'm on
Now you see what I can do!
Take it. I'm only
In a
getting
bind?
started.
Take it!
Lightning.
I'll finish you here and now!
It was nice while I'll heal you all. Keep out on my walk. Healing circle.
Here I come!
Do they not teach you to say thank you, Indiana? Not to a Renin they don't.
Azure Storm! Here I come! It's over!
Now.
Totally!
In an instant!
Impact block! Here's a healing art!
Azure Storm!
Ready to drag!
Crush!
Hurricane!
Swallow Blade!
All
Never defense!
Glad you had your uses! They're not playing around!
I can be! You're mine!
Healing struck! Get out of there, I can handle it! None shall escape my
Thank you.
You're mine! Struck! Here comes this one! Azure
Now you see what I can do!
There you go! Don't let up!
Not today!
See what happened there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that.
You're mine! Struck! Can't get out of this!
Hear my call!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Talon Storm! I'll heal you all!
Storm!
Vermin Hurricane!
Azure Storm!
Hey,
Arrow Squall! Ready!
hey that. Now, hey that. Don't get in trouble again.
Azure Storm! You're mine!
Air Thrust!
Big Blast!
Photon Blast!
Azure
Lightning
Storm!
Wall! Thunder Blade! It's weakened!
Azure Storm! It's me! No!
Mind if I do?
I'm not this
This
one!
one's mine!
Rip and tear!
You picked the wrong
Darkness!
fight!
Ready
Here
and
I
ready!
come!
Lunar
Azure
Corruption!
Storm!
Lunar Blast!
Slug, eat this!
Divine
Blue
Freeze!
Shot!
I'll finish you here and now!
Here I go!
Rising Falcon!
Amazing.
You're not playing around!
Prepare to be seen!
Lightning condemned! None shall escape my judgment!
It's gonna attack!
Right! Watch out!
Far enough! Azure Storm!
Weaken! Raging
Azure
Cascade!
Storm!
River Blast!
This one's all mine! Ignite!
I'm out of ammo! I'm all
Azure
down!
Storm! Here I come!
Power of water!
Remote!
Astral energy!
Say no more! That astral energy was incredible!
I gave it everything I had!
Whew! I don't sense any more enemies.
Okay.
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here fast. There are still so many creatures we don't know about.
Have you been writing stuff down about what we fight?
Yep. It's actually pretty fun to observe them from afar.
That was nothing.
Isara, let's talk for a bit. Maintaining your shield? It's becoming a familiar sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now, it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives, so it was just the two of us growing up. He was my idol, the one I looked up to and wanted to be like. When I became a guardsman, Lagiel wasn't too pleased to see me at first. It was Miguel who really welcomed me aboard.
Lagiel? Oh, right. She was Miguel's second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical and down-to-earth person. In other words, the complete opposite of a dreamer like me.
You're more an idealist than some pie-in-the-sky dreamer.
Even so, that's my brother's doing. He'd never let me stop seeing a brighter world. He always did what he could to keep me smiling and happy.
You must have meant a lot to him.
He wasn't just kind, either. He always worked so hard to set an example for me and everyone else around him. He was a true big brother. So much so that when he thought I was asleep, he'd slip out of the house to go training on the outskirts of town.
You seem to know a lot about it.
That's because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him. You know what? I'm at a good stopping point with my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel stories?
I guess I'd better get comfortable.
I'll take watch tonight. It's okay. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
That Zoogl's in our way.
I'm ready to fight it.
No choice.
Pieces!
Raging
Attack
Cascade!
What?
Hellspit! Spread! If they rush you gotta jump for cover, okay?
Here I come!
Go for the weak point!
Azure Storm!
Where that came from?
Azure Storm!
Take this!
I'll be saving this one! I got it!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara! I'll heal you all! Where are you going? Arch Shield!
I'll smash you! It's finished!
Let's do it!
Azure Storm!
Lightning! Not on my watch!
Eagle Fly!
Thunder!
Swallow Dance! Burn in hell!
Mega Ray! Arrow Squall!
I'm on it! Talon Storm!
I'll heal you
I'm not
all!
done!
Raging
Talon
Cascade!
Hurricane!
Healing
Sugar!
Fire!
Rolling Smack!
More for the stockpile!
There you go! I feel like me.
Freeze Lancer!
Azure Storm!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Water, hear my call!
Eat this!
Lightning Orb!
Azure
Raging
Storm!
Cascade!
Here I come!
What's this?
Magic advance! Air thrust! They're not playing around!
Now or never!
Go! I'm all stopped up!
Azure Storm! This one's all mine!
Raging Cascade!
Now you see what I can do!
It's gonna attack!
Right, watch out! Feel! Get on in there with the other! Will this help?
You picked the wrong fight!
Healing Circle!
I owe you one. Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
Now!
Slash!
Redwell! Astral energy! Full throttle!
We're still standing. Barely.
Hello.
Huh.
Kisara.
Right.
I bet that one could give me a decent...
An opponent like this... should be easy.
Mega Ray! Let's go for it!
Do it!
Even natural?
Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang! Easy!
Way to go!
Hit a word!
I never miss! Talon Storm! Photon Flash! Banana! Here comes!
Prepare to be seared, Actually, perhaps down is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing.
Now you see what I can do!
It's weekend!
This ends now! Easter! Azure Storm!
This'll come in handy. Here's a healing art!
Perfect knuckle!
First
Take
aid!
this.
Vanquish darkness! Into the
Blue
shadow!
escape!
Dragon Shell!
Divine strength! Alright, here's a healing art!
Perfect knuckle!
Take this!
Did you just heal me? Yes. I need you, remember?
Right. You're finished!
I'll finish you here and now!
Azure
Do it!
Storm!
Lost!
Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
Will this help?
Eat
You're
this!
mine!
I never miss! Not on my watch!
I'm on it.
I'm healing one!
In a bind? Lost my focus!
Healing circle!
There you go! I'm sorry to be involved.
We've all got enough on our plates.
Yes, ma'am.
They're not playing around!
The tactics are working great!
Full speed ahead!
Hey, wait for law!
Let loose!
I'll smash you!
Searing flame! Lightning raging
Azure Storm! Swallow dance!
Sleep now! Will this help?
Hold nothing back! Take this!
Right there with the others!
Coming through! Ha! No! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let me
Enter
help.
Storm! Now, Island Freely!
Take it down!
Crush! Enter
Do it!
Storm!
Go for it! Prepare to crumble! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Good.
Really now.
You better not come back. Got it?
I think Hootle senses something.
There's nothing here. It doesn't even connect to it.
one of your buddies.
What's with that shining foe over there?
This won't be easy.
How about this?
Raging! Don't be such a pessimist.
Now I can let
I'm on. I never miss. Here goes!
Yin, it's in a bind.
Now, astral energy!
say no more.
Step back. This one's all law.
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.
Okay.
Seriously?
Well,
What the?
I see someone who looks troubled about something.
A little compassion.
Oh? Yeah. Yeah. Why?
What?
Yeah. Got it. Great.
I hate that woman.
Well... yeah.
I don't think I'll ever quite warm up.
That can't be. No.
Oh, wow!
Hey.
Uh-huh.
Oh? Why?
Whoa!
Watch it.
Hey. Oh?
Huh? No way.
Hey.
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.
I wonder what we'll find out there this time.
Most likely Zoogle. I would reckon.
I mean, other than them?
Mahag Sar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
It doesn't matter. They try to get in our way. We'll take them down and that'll be that.
I'll take you all on!
Glacial Spear! Pierce Evil! Leave the chargers to me! Freeze Lancer! Thunderblade!
Ender Storm!
I'm on! Who wants to die next?
Crush! Now!
May a
Take
thousand
this!
gales tear you
Ender
apart!
Storm! Brilliant!
We won that by a mile.
Hoo! Hoo hoo hoo!
Look, Hootle, one of your buddies.
Hoo!
A fish!
I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Ren and eyes.
Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble.
I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod.
You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done.
I hope we catch something decent.
Indeed. Hungry bellies are counting on this. There we go. You've got to know when to quit. I've got something. I'll get you next time. I've got something. I'll let you go this time. Now, where might those fish be? Reel it in. Anybody could reel in that.
You sure know what you're doing.
Ha! All right. Well, that wasn't much of a challenge.
You sure know what you're doing.
Ha! Reel it in. Anybody could reel in that.
You sure know what you're doing.
Ha! There we go. Anybody could reel in that.
Nice! You caught it!
There we go. reeled us in a big one.
Hopefully it tastes better than it looks.
Ha! There we go. Looks like I hooked a pretty rare fish.
I see you've gotten even better at this.
Reel it in. Good fishers always keep their cool. There we go. That was disappointing. Dagnabbit! It got away. And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins.
Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us.
Okay!
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Just doing my job.
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey, though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came...
Right. From being in the Elda Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it. I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
Dohalim's fighting style is... what's the word I'm looking for? Subdued? No...
Do you mean elegant, perhaps?
Yeah, that's the word. For better or worse, you can definitely tell he's cut from posh Renin cloth.
And he's not just skilled with the staff either. He can also use astral arts, including healing ones. I can see how he made it to the position of a lord.
You flatter me, but my fighting techniques merely come from a style that aims to conserve energy by minimizing body movement.
Is that why you wait until the last second before you dodge attacks? To avoid unnecessary movements?
No, I do that to sharpen my senses. I find that doing so is an effective means of drawing out my innermost strength.
Oh yeah, I've noticed you look stronger and strike out with your rod more after you dodge attacks. Guess that's why.
Still, it's a risk. Don't you ever worry you'll dodge at the wrong moment?
Then, it'll be just as well.
Huh?
It's nothing. Let us continue.
Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, La?
Huh? Why are you asking me? That was nothing.
Shion, could we talk a moment?
I think it's time we go to sleep. Come on, guys. We've got lots to do.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Dahnans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Dahnan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Dahnan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Dahnans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Dahnans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
This will be a delicious piece of cake!
Glacial Steel!
Here's evil!
I'm not done!
Take balloon!
Gusty now!
Take this!
Airborne Beast! My spec!
Take this!
Go get it!
Right.
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Azure Storm! Blast the shot!
Do it!
Rising Falcon!
They're surrounding us!
I'm on it!
Where are you going?
Hold up! Is this as valuable as I think it is?
All right. There's nowhere to run from my arc.
When he slows down, that's our chance! Azure Storm! You're mine!
Prepare to be sealed or fleet of foot. Actually, perhaps bound is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing!
Azure Storm!
Take this! In a bind?
Talon Hurricane!
Take this!
Lunar Clear!
Strike! Azure Storm!
Water!
No further!
Azure Storm!
I'm out!
Here I come! I'm not done!
Do it!
Rising Falcon!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Dahnan relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Dahnan history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course. There's history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage him.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
I won't forgive you!
Here I come! Come one, come all! Now or never! In a vine!
Lunar Blast! Blast! It's a duel of the opposite! My astral energy!
Azure Storm!
I'm free!
See ya! Can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
No complaints here!
Leaving smelling to me.
Do it!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Little help!
Now or never!
Confiscated! Gemini Aqua! Supernova!
Swallow Blade!
We're in the home stretch, guys!
What she said? Eyes on the prize.
That focus goes double for you, Law.
Got fire!
I got this! Let a marksman handle it!
It must take guts
All
to
yours.
fight without a weapon.
I'm not brave. I just do what I have to.
If you're ever in a pinch, just say it.
Your power is a spectacle to behold.
My fists are crushing it out there! Gotta break through!
Where are you going?
You're mine!
None shall escape my judgment! Now!
Not chance! No escape!
Right! Maybe this way!
Rising Falcon! It's over!
Come through!
Azure
Do it!
Storm!
I'm on a
Come
roll!
and face me!
Easy peasy. Ha, Hoodle.
I won't forgive you!
In a body!
Surrender!
Azure Storm!
Glacial Spear!
Now you see what I can do.
No escape!
Do it!
Azure Storm! River!
Astral Energy!
Say no more! Shot!
Well done!
Azure Storm!
Do it!
Kisara, frozen.
Hammer!
We're in good form!
We got some good... equipment!
I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
No choice.
Lightning condemned!
Now we're not.
Glacial spear! Pierce
Oh
evil!
no, God! Your Arcane Swallow Blade! You're finished! Azure Storm!
Quit staring and concentrate on the fight.
It's over!
I don't take orders from
Let
you.
the marksman handle
No
this!
chance!
Alright!
I'm not done! Together, that wasn't even a problem. I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look...
Out of our way!
Azure Storm! Slash!
Dragon Shell!
You're mine!
Field! Don't mind if I do!
You're finished!
Anything
Azure
normal!
Storm!
Blazing Storm! Ice Blade!
None!
Do it!
I'm not done!
Astral
It's
Hand!
over! I'll take you all on!
Water!
Azure Storm! First strike! You're mine! Strike! Do it!
What's this place here? Some kind of old house? It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Here I come! Strike! Get you! Azure Storm!
We're thinning them out.
More like me.
We
I'll
turn the
admit I was
tables on.
right. There are still more left.
Right! No time to hold back!
Well, someone seems in tip-top
Nothing new about that shit.
and still as humble as ever.
That's what I like to hear.
Little help!
Azure Storm!
Mega Red! Solid Sword! Neon! Astral Energy! Full throttle!
Haha! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. No choice!
Water! You got your money!
Here I come!
Lightning Lance!
Azure Storm! This one's all mine! Azure Storm! Here I come!
Wing
I'm on it!
Astral Energy!
I'll tear you apart!
Seal!
An astral art?
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
Do it! Banana! Let's go! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
All aboard the victory train!
Overconfidence can bite you in the butt.
I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
So those are Dan and Astrolabe.
Huh, that's something you want to say?
Not so long as you keep them pointed toward the enemy.
I'm out. Back into the fray.
Slot, come and get it! Swallow blade!
Let's do it!
Over so soon? Through these lands most verdant green, my eyes alight for sights unseen. In Menancia, pure and pristine.
What is it you see exactly?
That's not for me to say.
Bad feeling about this.
I'm like bait to them!
Not on my watch!
Azure Storm! Here I come! Crush!
Now!
Azure Storm! You're finished! Eat this!
On! Quit staring and concentrate on the fight.
I don't take orders from you! Do it!
Try this on for size! You're finished!
Lost!
Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
Easy! Way to go! You are in tip-top shape!
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
How could a girl ever say no?
Crush!
Expert coming through!
Azure Storm! You're finished!
Glacial Spear!
Here's evil! Air thrust! Freeze!
Step back! This one's all law! The advantage.
Good. We just have to make sure we keep it.
Don't worry, because law's on. You're finished!
Dance in the wind!
Swallow dance! Stay strong!
Get on in there with the others!
Didn't even break a sweat.
What's that big tower over there?
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Better get everything ready for tomorrow.
Hey!
Dohalim, care if I hang out for a while? You worried about what's going on with...
What makes you think that?
Well, you were speaking to Kisara.
It's rude to listen in on others, you know.
Sorry. I didn't hear what you two were actually talking about, though. I just figured it was Menancia since it was the two of you.
I am but a former lord who has abandoned his post. I'm no longer in a position to lead the realm in any capacity whatsoever. Yet Kisara still seeks out my opinions, knowing full well that is the case. This despite the fact I am no longer her master either.
Couldn't it be precisely because you're not her master anymore? It's natural for friends to want to hear each other's opinions.
I hadn't considered that possibility.
It's funny what you miss sometimes.
Hardly uncommon among artistic types such as myself. When lordships are decided based solely on one's astral energy, it can lead to funny results.
But even so, you still took your job as lord seriously, didn't you?
Certainly. I learned to perform my functions. However, I was less interested in ruling, so much as avoiding life and death decisions. Of course, such a mentality in the end led only to sickening pain and death taking place elsewhere out of sight. I pretended not to see or hear any of it, content to let our supposed peace and equality keep me blind and deaf to reality. I was a fool.
But you're making amends.
I would like to think so. The path ahead is dark, yet I still walk on. I merely pray that I shan't fall down any holes along the way. I do believe it's about time that I retire. Shall we get moving?
Not this way, I guess. Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Elde Menancia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term. But you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does. Which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?